Listen, this isn't rocket science. The Chiefs aren't losing because they lack talent. They aren't losing because Patrick Mahomes can't make throws or because the roster is devoid of playmakers. The single biggest thing holding this team back is avoidable mental errors, and a large portion of those mistakes live on special teams and in the small moments where focus should be automatic. You know the plays. A kickoff out of bounds that gives the opponent excellent field position. A return team that waits to engage and ends up giving up chunks. A defender who doesn't stay with his assignment on a crucial snap. Those aren't spectacular plays by opponents. They're sloppy, repeatable errors that happen because somebody didn't execute the simple thing they've practiced 1,000 times. When those errors pile up, you don't need to invent a narrative. They cost you points, momentum, and often a win. Why does this matter so much? Because these mistakes are not about ceiling or talent. They're about floor. Talent sets your upside. Fundamentals, situational awareness, and discipline set your baseline. If your baseline is messy, you'll always be playing from behind or white-knuckling close games. Take a game where the Chiefs play perfectly physically, but have 3 or 4 of these mental breakdowns. That's the difference between a comfortable win and a one-score loss. Here's what to watch for: poor kickoff placement or decision-making, missed blocks, or needless holds on, returns, linebackers or tight ends failing to cover their keys, and specialists making inexcusable placement errors. Those are all fixable. They respond to film study, focused practice reps, and, crucially, accountability in meetings and in-game. Let me be blunt. The kicker situation has become the lightning rod because it's so visible. Harrison Butker has been one of the most reliable legs in football for years, but right now something's off. This isn't a cut him moment. He's under contract, and cutting him would create dead cap problems the Chiefs can't afford. But accountability doesn't mean release. It means demanding focus and execution from a veteran who's supposed to provide stability. That kickoff that went out of bounds after taking the lead, not a physical limitation, a mental lapse. There's a field that's 160 feet wide, and somehow the ball ends up out of play. You can call it a bad bounce or an angle problem, but at his level, that's inexcusable. What makes it maddening is that Butker still has one of the strongest, most accurate legs in the league. If the Super Bowl needed a 54-yarder, you'd probably trust him to drill it. The issue is, he keeps tripping over the simple stuff. So what's the fix for a veteran kicker who's slipping mentally? It's less about changing mechanics and more about mindset. Treat every kickoff with the same focus you give a game-winning field goal. Make kickoff placement non-negotiable in practice and in games. Coaches need to hold him accountable the same way they hold anyone else. Focus, repetition, and consequences until the routine is back. Butker isn't the only concern. Widen the lens, and you see that the Chiefs' special teams as a whole have been inconsistent. Every kickoff feels like a coin flip. Will they make the tackle cleanly, or will someone break through and take it 40 yards? It's not a talent shortage, it's lane discipline, angles, and finishing. Time and time again, you see players overrunning lanes, diving early or failing to wrap up. That's sloppy play that screams lack of focus, not lack of ability. Look at the return game. Brashard, Smith, and others give the Chiefs flashes of explosion, but 9 times out of 10, a huge gain gets wiped out by a penalty, an unnecessary hold, or a block in the back. Plays that should flip field position become non-events because someone freelanced when they should have stayed disciplined. Jack Cochran's unnecessary hold in a recent game is a perfect example. The return was set up. All he had to do was let his man go, and the play would have stood. Special teams is built on trust. Every player has to trust the guy next to him will handle his assignment. When one player helps by doing too much, the whole play collapses. That's been the pattern. One mistake snowballs into a drive killer, or worse, a game changer. The pieces are there: speed, physicality, and talent. But execution is inconsistent. This is where coaching and film work matter most. Reps matter. Assign the right personnel to the right roles. Maybe give faster, more aggressive guys more opportunities on coverage units. Maybe veterans need to sit some reps so the roster knows playing time is earned. Focused situational reps and discipline drills can eliminate the small errors that turn into big problems. Accountability and culture are the real solutions. Every player, whether it's Mahomes, Kelsey, Butker, or a rookie special teamer, should be held to the same standard. Mental mistakes are not acceptable. You can drop a pass or miss a tackle. Those are physical mistakes. But forgetting your assignment or losing focus is a cultural failure. That kind of discipline starts in practice and in the film room. It starts when coaches stop letting avoidable errors slide and start using them as teaching moments, not excuses. Simplify when necessary, emphasize fundamentals, and make the first 10-15 minutes of practice about situational basics like lane discipline, fair catch protocols, and decision-making under pressure. Make mistakes in practice carry real, immediate consequences, a few reps off or redoing the period, so the message lands. If a starter repeatedly fails mentally, coaches need to be willing to sit him for a game to reset the culture. Consistency beats sentimentality. Championship teams have made tough decisions like that in order to protect standards. That's not about being punitive. It's about creating a baseline of accountability where every player knows that mental errors are costly and will be corrected. So what does winning look like if the Chiefs clean this up? Imagine the same offensive firepower and playmakers, but with cleaner kickoffs, no dumb holds on returns, assignment discipline, and a kicker who treats every rep like a playoff kick. That's a team that doesn't have to survive on heroics. A team that controls field position, limits sudden death scenarios, and executes a reliable game plan from start to finish. Here's a prioritized playbook they can implement immediately. Make the kickoff plan non-negotiable. Either guarantee touchbacks or adopt a tightly coached placement pattern and drill it until it's instinct. Reassign special teams roles so lane fillers and tacklers are the best fits for those responsibilities. Prioritize wrap and finish tacklers in core lanes. Commit to focused mental reps every practice. Situational fundamentals, communication, and what-if scenarios should be the first items on the board. Enforce accountability protocols. Call out mental errors in real time and follow through. If a starter keeps failing, bench him to reset the culture. Simplify late-game play calling when necessary. Remove unnecessary complexity and rely on trusted players to execute cleanly. If the Chiefs eliminate these mistakes, they don't just tidy up a few games, they become a different kind of contender. Fewer nail-biters, more controlled wins, and a team you can trust to execute the basics when it matters most. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think mental errors or injuries have cost the Chiefs more this season? Drop a comment with mental errors or injuries, and tell me one play that still has you shaking your head. If you were Andy Reid, would you bench a starter who keeps making mental mistakes? Say bench him or trust him and explain why. If you found this breakdown useful, please subscribe and hit the bell. We're pushing to 5,000 subscribers to keep delivering honest, focused Chiefs content. Smash the like button if you want more special teams analysis and weekly breakdowns.